a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Call the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Tuesday, November 25th. We don't have a long show, but we have a good show today, previewing NBA Cup games, just 3 of them. We've got more action from the Players Era Championship. We've also got 1 game in the NHL. We've got 2 games from the Maction here on Tuesday, the last day of the consecutive days of football games. I guess there's no game on Wednesday, no football game, but I guess there's a couple on Thursday, I've heard. So get ready for Thanksgiving here and Feast Week with basketball starting off soon as well. And we're here in Las Vegas with some games last night in the Players Era Championship, but of course, got to start it off with a little steam. Just came in right now in a game between Cal Baptist and University of San Diego. Seeing some steam here to the under. To start the show this morning, it was 149. We're seeing the steam come in on the game between Cal Baptist and San Diego. Right now, that number has dropped here, and we'll call it 146. That's a 3-point drop. You know the board's lighting up if you're watching this morning with lots of moves. I already sent out an overnight package with some games that have already moved. That's what I do. We know who the sharps are on. That's my slogan. And thank you for joining me here in the chat. We'll get rolling here with the show, but we've got to review some of the games from yesterday. Man, what a day. What a night in NFL action. Hopefully you were on with us during the companion stream with razor sharp picks with the Panthers taking on the 49ers there last night. I don't know, it wasn't a great game. I know some people say it was a pretty bad game, but man, there was interceptions galore, and the 49ers were able to win the game 20-9. McCaffrey had 142 yards, says, "Remember me, Carolina? I used to play for you." And San Francisco won, even though Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions on the first 4 drives of the game. Hello, Mac. Mac, are you there? But down 7-3, Carolina had the ball at the San Francisco 1-yard line, and Bryce Young threw an interception. Turned out to be key considering the 20-9 final. Carolina had just 3 points in the first half, averaging barely, not even 2 yards per play. So Panthers continue to struggle in the role as a road underdog. That's not their best role. I don't know what their best role is, but It was 49ers with the win there last night. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. We'll talk a few more games here before we get rolling. Won't be here very long, like we said, with kind of a slower show here today with our games. In fact, I think college basketball's got to be the focus here today. Gooey McDougal, he's here today. He wants some basketball action, says I'm out of tennis. Today, there's Gash Kane. Bobby Mack is here. Nuke is joining us, and there's Blue. Die in the chat today. Hello to Blue. Blake's here, ready to roll. Dylon as well. LALB making the rounds here today. We could have previewed the Champions League. We're looking for some sports today. Should be a good day in the Champions League. I've already sent out a 3-pack of winners, hopefully on the Win Club with the action this afternoon in the Champions League, set to start here in about 3 hours or so. See, the matchups are pretty good today. A couple of high-profile matchups in the Champions League, and that'll be kind of maybe some of the other focus here besides the Players Era Championship as far as daytime or afternoon sports action here today. And let's see, AJ is here today. Thank you, AJ, for everything, your support of me here on the channel. Jimbo here as well. Nuke says, I'm fired up. I get some late afternoon trash can. Maction. Man, this one's a bad game, this first one, isn't it? Hey, there's NYC Bar. Good morning to Bar. Jimmy's here. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Get ready to go here. We're just 2 days away from chow time. All right, where did the Carolina? There's M the Great. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. All right, and LALB's got a little prop here. Grimaldo. Sounds like my pizza joint here in Vegas. 1+ shots on target at plus 190. All right. And we did have some action here yesterday in the Players Era Championship here in Las Vegas. And, man, my San Diego State Aztecs really laid an egg there at the tournament. They had the worst performance of any team, losing to Michigan by 40 points. Sure, we had the under on the morning Steam show yesterday, but, San Diego State, could they be in trouble? The offense is woeful, and the defense had no options against Michigan there yesterday. We did have the winner here on the Morning Steam show with Rutgers and Tennessee game to go over. We had the winner with Baylor yesterday laying the points against Creighton. We also said to go here on the Morning Steam show with the under in Kansas and Notre Dame. We had that winner as well on the show. We also came with it, Houston and Syracuse game to go over. We had some good winners here in the Players Era Championship. And we'll cover more of that today. That's really our whole focus on the show as far as college basketball is concerned. But in the NBA, we did bring some home winners in the Morning Steam roundup yesterday, including the Toronto Raptors. How about Toronto? They continue hot. AOD is not here yet, so I don't know if we'll mention the Pistons because they didn't cover the spread, but they won again. And, man, how about it? When you're talking the Pistons and this win streak, the only times they've ever won this many games, they went on to win the NBA Finals. Could the Pistons go be that representative here this season? They are hot, 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 and so are the Raptors. We did also have Tyler Hero came back. They didn't cover, but they won over Dallas, and Hero was kind of the star there. He hit that big bucket to put him ahead there in the final minute, and the Heat beat the Mavs. Didn't cover the spread. New York and Brooklyn fell pretty much right on the number there yesterday. 113 to 110. We also had the Nuggets here on the show. They rocked against Memphis, 10-point win. We had the winner. We also had Portland here on the Morning Steam, 115 to 103. A victory there yesterday. How about the Bulls and the Pels? We had the Pelicans yesterday here on the Morning Steam show. They rocked Chicago, 143 to 130. And also, we brought home a winner late night with the Warriors, 134-117 winners over Utah yesterday. Hope you guys had some good winners as well. We also brought some home there in hockey. Man, tomorrow is going to be a huge day in hockey. It's only one game today, but we did have some winners here on the show, including the Washington Capitals. We had the Caps yesterday in the 5-1 throttling of the Blue Jackets. We also had Tampa Bay minus a goal here. Maybe the minus a goal is the way to go, like Mikey said. We had the Lightning over the Flyers yesterday here on the show. And we also had the Blues and the Rangers game to go under. I know Mikey had that one as a premium winner yesterday. Hey, we had it as well here on the show. Also brought home a winner with the Red Wings and the Devils game to go over. And it did in that 4-3 Devils victory. Also brought home one more winner there, late night action with Ottawa and the Kings game to go under. So all in all, a pretty good day there. I think 5-2 in hockey. All right, a few more coming in, and we'll get rolling, man. This show is not going to take long. We'll be out of here before 11 Eastern. I'm sure about that. There's AOD. He's fired up. Robert said he liked that Syracuse-Houston game. Syracuse came back and forced the overtime and eventually lost, but Houston won. Syracuse got the money. We'll see what happens today at the Players' Championship. AOD. You did hear his name being called. And let's see here. LALB had 49ers money line first half and under in a full game parlay. Great job. And let's see who else. Let's see. Terrell is here. Perfect 10 unders in the NFL. And BJ Anderson, is that you, BJ? He's got it says, how about those Kings last night getting the win over Ottawa? Man, we just had a bunch of steam come flying in right here just now. So let's take a look. What just happened? Villanova just took some steam here moments ago in their game against Old Dominion. Villanova here. I'll say yesterday, this was probably the worst day the Steam's had all season, and they still finished 4 games above 500, but Villanova here, minus 20.5, just took some steam in their matchup today against Old Dominion. The steam also came in on Old Dominion in that game right now. It is. Villanova is up to minus 22 points, 1.5 move there, and the total is currently at just 144.5, although the steam was reported there on the under in that one. Just moments before that, more steam came in on Ohio State in their game today against Mount St. Mary's. Ohio State was a 27-point favorite, and that steam just came in a little bit ago, and now they're 29. Up to 29 here for Ohio State today. And one more, I think, came in while we were talking. Quinnipiac taking the steam here in the game against Central Florida. Quinnipiac was getting 13.5 in this one, but we're seeing a little bit of move here down to 12.5 there with Quinnipiac and Central Florida. Quinnipiac took the steam here just a few moments ago.
Steam play.
Also, just right now, this one's ready to go hot. If you're ready, it's Portland State taking the steam right this second in their game against Utah Tech. Portland State was a pick'em here, but now they're favored in the matchup with Utah Tech. Portland State is currently up to a 1.5 point favorite right now against Utah Tech. Steam currently rolling in as well in a matchup here seconds ago. It is Washington State and Arizona State at the Maui Invitational, and the total is moving much higher here. It was an opener of around 157, but we are seeing this one go much higher here right now at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific time. Currently, the total in Washington State and Arizona State is up to 160, about a 3-point move here off the opener. as this one is on the move higher with Washington State and Arizona State. Some steam coming in here right now. On that one also, it was Cal Baptist taking the steam in that game against San Diego. We just mentioned the total under, but also Cal Baptist took the steam here at 6:30 Eastern and 3:30 Pacific time. And right now we're seeing in that one the Cal Baptist Lancers are up to -8. They opened as low as 6.5, now up to -8 with CBU in that matchup. Okay, also got a couple more here. I think that we were just missing here. Bradley taking the steam in their matchup against UCSD. Bradley was a 1.5 point dog against UCSD at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific. But right now we're seeing Bradley is a pick or maybe even a 1 point favorite here right now at an offshore book. So Bradley just took the steam. Also, right now, just seconds ago, steam coming in here on Grand Canyon and Utah. You just heard it. Steam coming in here on the under Grand Canyon and Utah. It was 159, but now we're seeing some movement here. This one's at midnight Eastern and 9 p.m. Pacific. Last on the board here, I do believe. And we're seeing this one move lower here to 154.5. This one opened 159.5 at some books. That's a 5 point move off the opener right now. And it's still moving. You can get in on this one with Grand Canyon and Utah. Steam to the under just moments ago here on the Morning Steam Show. Also, Indiana took some steam here in their matchup today against Kansas State. The steam had already come in on the under in this game between Kansas State and Indiana. But right now we're seeing this one move here on Indiana, or it already did. This one's a little stale, but they are up to -11 here. That's a 2 point move for Indiana. The steam also came in on the under. It opened 160.5, and right now that didn't matter because right now it is 162 here at some books. It actually is a large move to the over considering the send out for this game was 155.5. So we are seeing it much higher here actually at 162. I will say this reported steam was on the under, but that was long ago. But officially right here just now was Indiana taking that steam. And you just heard another one here seconds ago with Nebraska Omaha and James Madison. Hearing some steam here right now on the over in this one. They're playing this one in Miami. This one was as low as 158.5. This one at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific time. Steam here to the over in this one with Nebraska Omaha and James Madison. Currently the line is 160. So yeah, a little bit of a move there. It dropped down at first 158.5, and now we're up to 160. Right now, here's a move. It's on North Texas. North Texas is taking the steam here right now in their matchup with Eastern Washington. North Texas was an 11.5 point favorite, but right now it's moving higher because the steam's coming in on North Texas at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. Right now, North Texas is up to a 13.5 point favorite. It's about a 2 point move right there for North Texas in their matchup with Eastern Washington today. Also, in that matchup between I think we're clear here. Okay, Oral Roberts took the steam in their game against Kennesaw State just as we were coming into the intros there. Oral Roberts took the steam against Kent State. Oral Roberts was getting 8.5, but right now they are here down to 7. Or Kennesaw -7 as Oral Roberts took the steam. All right. A few more to say hi. I'm sure we'll get more in just a moment, but Jake Farm is here, and There's LALB, had some action there with the Kings. Terrell loves the primetime unders right now. We talked about the record last night for primetime unders on the show last night. There's Tariq. He's ready to go today. LALB says double for Luke and for Reeves for the Lakers. Hey, we've got 3 NBA games to look at. And Zubats for a double. We might as well get started. We know there'll be more steam, so we could just preempt it when it happens. There'll be more. But we should go because we got some football to look at as well. The football does start a little early today, huh? Let's take a look at that. Here we go. All right. A lot of sports. All right. Let's see here. Oh, by the way.
Steam play.
I knew it. Here's some steam coming in right now. Coming in here just moments ago on the game between Iowa and Ole Miss. We are seeing some steam here to the under in this one. This one was as high here as 146 or so, maybe 146 and a half. But we're seeing some steam right now in the game between Iowa and Ole Miss. This one's at 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific time. So this one is moving lower here right now. Subscribers, you know what I'm talking about here in this one. And this total has actually moved here in the game between Iowa and Ole Miss. And we're seeing it here right now move to 143 or so. So we've got at least a 3.5 point move to the under here with Iowa and Ole Miss. And just moments ago, where there was steam in the game between UCLA and Cal. Did hear of some steam come in here just a few moments ago. It was as let's see here. It was as high as 143 and a half. We're seeing some steam here right now in that one. It's at 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific time. And that one has moved lower here to 141. 2.5 point move lower with UCLA and Cal. And if you watched me on another show last night, you heard me give out the under in that game. Close to that number that just got steamed there. So, all right, you guys, great job there. Was I ready to talk football with you? Hey, go over to winnable.com/Ramon. Right now you can pick up my plays for college basketball today, as well as my Champions League action. When you subscribe, use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. You can get rolling with me right now. I'm going to have plays today over there. 2 packages already sent out. Already sent out a free play as well on the VIP free subscriptions. So I do send out my best volume plays there on winnable.com/Ramon, and appreciate it. You can click this QR code right here, and that'll take you right to my Winnable page. That's kind of cool how I did that, huh? You don't have to type it in there, what you see on the screen. Just take a picture of that thing with your phone and then click that little yellow thing when it says winnable.com/Ramon or whatever it says, and it'll take you right to that page. Get signed up with me here. I'll give you free. Great job yesterday. Who was that in the chat that said offer the 2 weeks free? Man, I was really impressed how many people signed up last night off of that. Everybody except the poster who suggested it, I think, signed up. Didn't see him on there, but hey, it worked. Got some extra signups there. Appreciate it. Got me a little pizza here last night. All right. And there's Josh. Hey, Josh, nice to have you here as a member of the Chat All Stars today. Josh, 47,000. All right. And let's see here, Nuke. Okay, all right, everybody. Let's get rolling here on these games here, huh? man, you guys are talking about okay, Nuke. This is on you, Nuke. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if Nuke is going to be, we know you love college basketball, but you wanted it. You got it right here, Bowling Green and UMass. This is the game of the year right here. We got 0-10, UMass. You've got 3-7, or what are they? 3-8. The funny thing about Bowling Green, they're 14-point favorites here, 14.5-point favorites, but they're on a massive losing streak too. However, somehow they've managed a way to win 3 of 11 games so far, and they've actually covered the spread in 4 of 11 games. So now they are 0-5 against the spread as a favorite. So I don't know what you're going to do here. UMass, okay, they are 0-11, but they've covered 3 games this season. They're not quite as good as Bowling Green, but they are 2-6 as an underdog, and Bowling Green is 0-5 as a favorite. Who is going to find their way to the window with UMass here? Is this the day? Could you go even the money line here? Look, if you're going to gamble a little bit, right, would you take the money line here in a matchup of 2 of the worst teams in the country here right now? I don't know how else to put it. But there are some other trends as well with this game, believe it or not. Bowling Green's gone 1-5 or under and 5 straight. Massachusetts has gone over in 5 straight. They're trying to make this difficult. What happens when 2 bad teams? Does that mean they go over if the offenses are good enough, or they go under because the offenses are inept? I don't know. If UMass has gone over, they're the worst team, right? So if UMass loses, it probably goes over. Do I have it right? Okay, quit laughing in the chat here because we got to make a pick in this one. The teams actually haven't met in 10 years. How does that happen? Now we know UMass was not in the MAC they've only been in there a couple years, so fair enough. But they met 10 years ago, and Bowling Green won 62-38, featuring 100 points. Well, if they scored 100 points then, they can at least get 50 points today. All right. Let's see here. Maybe you guys are being serious in the chat, and I'll take a look and see what you guys got. Here's Bowling Green money. I mean, look at the Bowling Green money line. I don't know about that cash gain. Here. Nuke's going to lay it with Bowling Green. It's hard, right? UMass. They look like the worst team by far here. They've covered some numbers. They do look awful. There's no doubt about it. All right. Robert, he thinks under when this goes down like this. A Bowling Green team total for Tariq. All right. LALB's got his own bowl game going here. Wait a minute. Bowling Green coach wants to win this one big time. And Nuke says this is the toilet bowl. All right. Well, I guess I gotta make a pick with this one. I'm gonna take Bowling Green. I think Massachusetts is the worst team, and at least Bowling Green, like I said, tough to say because they've, like I said, they've actually won some games. So you got to give them big time credit there. Or I don't know, do you? They're 0-5 on the road, straight up, but they are 1-4. Straight up as a favorite. How has Bowling Green been favored 5 times? Worse yet, how has UMass been favored 3 times? UMass has been favored 3 times this year. When did that happen? Bowling Green was just favored in the 3 games that they were favored, or 3 of the games they just were favored within the last 5 games. Believe it or not, they lost to Central Michigan as a 3.5-point favorite. They lost at Kent as a 7.5-point favorite, and they lost to Buffalo at home as a 2.5-point favorite, losing 28-3. Well, all right, I'll take Bowling Green here, and oh man, get out of the way of this one. Oh boy! All right, we're gonna look at one more. We're gonna look at one more here. Hilarious. All right, we got some steam coming in, though, real quick if I can, you guys, and a couple of games here. We just had one roll in here, roll on big ball, and it was Tennessee and okay, let me get this one here. About 3 or 4 have rolled in here in the last few seconds. Get this out of the way here. Hampton and Maryland Eastern Shore. Steam to the over here in this one with Hampton and Maryland Eastern Shore. It was 126, and the steam came in. This one's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific between Hampton and Maryland Eastern Shore. And the steam came in on the over, and it's up to 127.5 here right now. About a 1.5 move off that. Actually drifted down to begin and now got steamed up here. Hampton and Maryland Eastern Shore. Also, just moments ago, it was Tennessee State and Cashville. Let me get this one in because it superseded it here. We'll get to that one. That definitely Oakland here just took some steam moments ago in their game against Montana. Oakland was getting 2.5 points from Montana. This one at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. But right now it's gone to 1. Montana by 1. So about a 1.5 move here. Montana went from 1.5 to 2.5, then got bought in with Oakland. Now it's Montana -1. And also just right now in that same game, so maybe we should check the any injury report because the steam is moving also in the same game on the over. It was another one where it dipped down from 164 down to 162.5, but is getting hit to the over right now, and it's back up to 164.5. Here, steam to the over with Oakland and Montana. Also, finally get to it, Tennessee State and Cashville. Steam to the over here in that one between TSU, Blake, and Asheville. We're seeing this one this one was as low as 154 with Tennessee State and Cashville at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. But right now we're seeing this one move higher here, and the total is up to 158. That's a pretty big move from a 154 up to 158. 4-point move here with Tennessee State, North Carolina, Asheville. Okay. That Iowa State-Creighton game steamed to the under there with Iowa State and Creighton. Boy, I think that's probably the way that's going to go, actually. Saw that steam to the under in Iowa State and Creighton. Also, just moments ago, more steam comes in right now on Northern Iowa and Loyola Chicago. This one is in Palm Springs there at the Acrisure Arena. Steam to the under here, it was 135.5. We saw the steam come in just moments ago between Northern Iowa and Loyola Chicago here. It's all about the college hoops today, isn't it? And we're seeing the steam to the under there with Northern Iowa and Loyola Chicago at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific time today out there in Palm Springs. That sounds nice. Total here is all the way down to 132.5. That's a 3-point move to the under, Northern Iowa and Loyola Chicago. Also, here, let me see here. Okay, I think we're all caught up. Let me keep it rolling here right now and go to the next game in college football, and the next one in the MAC. Here, let's see what else happens. Stand on Biz, nice to see you there. And I think that's it. He's ready to go with this game. Let me pop it up here real quick. He likes Eastern Michigan and the big rivalry game here between Western Michigan and Eastern Michigan. The Broncos and the Hurons here in this one, and you got Western Michigan favored here by 6. No, it's higher, man. Oh boy, this one moved here on me since typed these in last night. This one's up to 8 here, and the total is at 46 and a half. Anybody saw me on that show there yesterday talking about this one of Western Michigan and Eastern Michigan? I want to hear from you with this one. Western Michigan favored here up on the road. Western Michigan is in first place in the MAC, one game up. They're pretty clear here. They're going to be in the MAC championship game, I believe. Right now, they are at 6-1 in conference play. They're one game clear of Ohio, Toledo, Central Michigan, and Miami O. Meanwhile, Eastern Michigan's just 3-4 overall here this season. But they've covered a few games. But let's see what you guys have in this one as we get those. Here we go. Oops. So you got Western Michigan coming in here 7-4 overall. Eastern Michigan 4-7 overall. But Eastern Michigan's won a pair of games in a row here right now. Wins over Bowling Green and Ball. They've covered 3 in a row right now. Western Michigan, meanwhile, off back-to-back or 3 straight wins over Central Michigan, Ohio, and Northern Illinois. These two teams met last year. The Broncos won it 26-18 as a 6.5 point favorite. They got the money there. They also beat Eastern Michigan here on the road 45-21 2 years ago. So they've won kind of 2 straight here in this series. Western Michigan's covered 6 of their last 8 games overall. They've gone under in 10 of their last 15 games. Having won 7 of their last 8 has Western Michigan. They're also just 2-5 against the spread their last 7 in this series. Eastern Michigan, meanwhile, has covered 5 of their last 6 games. Eastern Michigan's gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games at home. So they are getting some numbers here. It's just that Western Michigan, playing pretty strong atop the conference here, but doesn't mean they can't necessarily just win and not cover. Let's see if you guys have opinions on this one at 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific with Western Michigan taking on Eastern Michigan here. And see what you've got. And here we go with the plays here. Oh, and then we got the Broncos and under for Cash Kane. He already commented, I think, on this one. Nice. And yep, Nuke said Eastern Michigan, taking those points at home. He likes them here. So do I, Nuke. I'm actually taking them here right now with you. Give me the Eastern Michigan Hurons. I'm taking Eastern Michigan here in this one. And let's see, BCU, Bethune-Cookman for Action Jackson. Bars on the over here in this one. And Broncos must win. Eastern Michigan, like I said, they are 1-4 to the under. They're 5-3 to the over as an underdog, though. Double for LBJ. Take the points, says Action Jackson 6-7. And Arthur, man, thank you, Arthur. Really appreciate you as always coming through and supporting the channel here. Sports Money. Man, you do it for us here, Arthur. Thank you so much once again, keeping us going on the air here. I'm going to be here for the rest of my life, so make sure you guys are here. If I'm not, maybe I went viral. Maybe I went viral for something. All right. We could have gone viral last night on that show. All right. Hey, that's it for the 2 trash can. I'm called trash can today. Trash can action. And like I said, no football tomorrow. Can you believe it? Remember, it was just a month and a half or so ago. We said, there's a football game every day until the day before Thanksgiving. And there it is. It's all over. All right, we got a little bit of steam coming in here. Then we're going to get rolling here in the NBA for our 3-game pack in the NBA Cup. How come they don't play? How come there's only 3 games today in the NBA Cup? All right, Chicago State and Purdue Fort Wayne. Seeing some steam in this one between Chicago State and Fort Wayne. Right now, it is Chicago's steam to the under. Steam to the under in this one with Chicago State and Purdue Fort Wayne. Not to be confused with Purdue Indianapolis. This is steam to the under, and this was only 150.5, or it was 150.5 at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific time. But the steam's coming in on the under in this one between Chicago State, Purdue Fort Wayne. We're seeing this one down to 149.5. You call that a move? Well, all right. That was about a 1-point move. Still a move to the under here that they alerted us on. And like I said, yesterday, or so far here after 2 days, or after yesterday, this was probably the worst day for the steam this season. It was only 35 and 34 yesterday. So we haven't really seen that so far where the steam didn't profit so far this season. So hopefully we're not too many of those games, but that's okay. We'll see today. We'll probably be right back at it. There's no doubt that steam is hitting well over 62.5% so far the plays here on the air. And I'm keeping track. I wouldn't be going through these and rattling off a bunch of, if this thing went 35 and 34 every day, we wouldn't spend 10 minutes doing the steam noise and saying what game is moving. Hopefully you're keeping track and seeing the same results that I am. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. Hello to Truth Teller. Hello, Truth. Nine Legacy says Eastern Michigan on the spread. Can I start saying Johnny? And Johnny, it might be cooler. I don't know. Nine Legacy's been so good for so long, but Johnny hasn't changed their name. Okay, let's see. Right. LALB says, not only do you have the game there, but in the 2 early games in the Champions League, you got the big 0-4 versus 0-4 or whatever it is. Terrell, did you like the new commercial where the emu, they crashed into the motorhome trying to get into the stadium? Let's go to the NBA right now and take a look at our 3 games tonight in the NBA Cup. Don't forget, we're in the NBA Cup here tonight. Only 3 games. But let's get into it. Here we go. First up in the Cup, Atlanta taking on Washington here. Atlanta, favored, of course, by, I think it's 10. Let's hold off on the NBA Cup for just a second. We've got some steam coming in here right now. South Carolina State and Missouri. We're seeing some steam to the over here in this one with South Carolina State and Missouri. It was 160.5. We're seeing some steam here to the over. South Carolina State and Missouri at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific. And right now this one's up to 162. That's about a 1.5-point move to the over there with South Carolina State and Missouri. All right, that didn't distract us too much, but we do have, with the Hawks taking on the Wizards here in Group A right now. And I think I said the Hawks, are they up to a 10.5-point favorite? A little bit of a move here to the Hawks. Yeah, 10.5, pretty much everywhere. Some books are dragging behind, or maybe they want to stay at 10. But we do have 10.5 here, and the total is 236.5, maybe even 237 right now. A little bit of a move to the over here in this one between the Hawks and the Wizards. That's okay. In this one, let me get this going here. So Toronto has already qualified here for the next round. They're a 3-0 right now. So Cleveland is 2-1 after yesterday's big result there. So Toronto, they're probably headed to the knockout stage. They're probably going to be able to clinch that and be one of the teams in the next group. Now, still the second place, the possibility to reach the knockout stage of the ranking. You know, they take the other teams, the other 3 second place teams, and send one team through. So the Wizards probably not going to get there. They're 0-2 right now in the NBA Cup. Real quick here, got one more move. We got a couple more moves here right now. Let's get these in while the steam is moving on. Pacific, to be specific. Pacific is taking the steam here right now in their game against Jacksonville. This is an early game, 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, with Pacific taking on Jacksonville. In this one, Pacific was a 4.5 point favorite, but right now they're 6. Just right now, they've moved to 6 here with Pacific and Jacksonville steam on Pacific. Also, just moments before that, the steam came in on Mississippi Valley State and Texas A&M. Did anybody see Jerry Rice there last night on the Manning cast? Speaking of Mississippi Valley State, this total was as low as 154. This game is at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific with Mississippi Valley State and Texas A&M. And the steam came in on the over in that one and is currently up to 155.5, about a 1.5 move there with Mississippi Valley State and Texas A&M steam to the over. We're talking Hawks and Wizards here, and let me know what you've got in this one. Yeah, it's up to 10.5 here, maybe 237 right now with the slight move to the over. Okay, we got some steam here. Let me see what's going on here. All right, yeah, some steam coming in here. Let's see. All right, this one's my move, you guys, so nothing I can do about it. I'm going to give it out right now. Steam here on Notre Dame. I like them against Rutgers today to get this cover, actually, and I've got Notre Dame as my pick. We're going to go to the Players Era tournament here in just a moment. That's the early game, but right now, Notre Dame's moved from a 6-point favorite up to as high here as, boy, you know, I'm seeing some different, yeah, I'm a little confused on this one. I think some books are trailing is what it is. I think this one's going up to 7.5. I just want to say I'm on Notre Dame. We'll see what that line is when we get to it. I'm showing 7.5 at a lot of books, 7 at some books. I'm showing some books trailing behind at 5.5. So just going to keep an eye out there on that. All right, and also here, let's see. Yep, here's another one. And this is my play right here with Kansas and Syracuse here at the Players Era Championship today. This one is at 3:30 Eastern and 12:30 Pacific. In the game between here, Kansas and Syracuse. And right now we're seeing this game move here in this one with Kansas here taking the steam, and that is my play today. I like Kansas over Syracuse here, and just have to give it out right now. That's okay. We're not here for a long time today. Kansas, you know, they were 4.5. It dipped down to 3.5, and now it's back up. It's back up to 4.5, even 5.5 right now. Kansas. Hey, Syracuse got the money last night. Mr. Weskers, you out there? I'm going against Syracuse today. I'm taking Kansas, but can't help but see that the steam's coming in on Kansas right now at -5.5. All right, that's all right. Also, just one more that kind of came in. This was kind of funny, but it's that Mississippi Valley Texas A&M game. We just talked about the steam on the over. Well, it also came in on Texas A&M here, unfortunately, or I don't know. I don't want me to say it like that, but they were a 42.5 point favorite, and right now they are up to higher than that with Mississippi State and Texas A&M at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific, and we're seeing the steam here on Texas A&M in this one, and it is up here to 45 right now. So about a 3-point move there, 45-point favorite there with Texas, Mississippi Valley, and Texas A&M. And also, just moments ago here, another one of the Players Era Championship, where it's going in my favor, but against me, if you know what I mean. I like Michigan today against Auburn. The steam is coming in here on Michigan. They were a 3.5-point favorite. Man, I'm laying some points here. This one's at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and all of a sudden now Michigan is up to a 5.5-point favorite in that one as well. Man, I've just had two of my games go from 3.5 to 5.5 sitting here with you guys. That's okay. I've got Michigan today, and I'll just make it my pick here on the Morning Steam show. Now I can get back to the Hawks and get back with you guys. I'm trying to talk basketball here with the Hawks and the Wizards. Now, the Wizards continue to, hey, we got some teams that are record-setting. Well, the Wizards might be record-setting in the other way right now with this losing streak that they're currently on.
Play.
Here, the Wizards are currently on a 10-game losing streak. One more move here. We love the steam. Steam coming in here on Utah Valley and South Dakota State. Here's some steam to the over in this one with Utah Valley and South Dakota State. All right, it was 151.5. I'm surprised by this move, but just another basketball game, I guess. 151.5 here, going higher in this one. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific in the matchup between Utah Valley and South Dakota State. And this one's gone up here to 154.5. Oh boy. Oh boy. Can you believe it? That's steam to the over there, Utah Valley and South Dakota State. Okay, you guys, we will never get through, but that's okay. I want to spend some time with you guys. So Washington coming in on this massive losing streak right now. They've also gone just 3-11 against the spread, their last 14. Atlanta here's covered 6 of their last 9. They've won 2 straight coming in right now. Wins over New Orleans and Charlotte. They beat New Orleans handily by 17 and then beat Charlotte here a couple of nights ago at home, 113 to 110. They didn't cover. We know that. But Atlanta's won 7 of their last 9 overall. Washington's actually covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams coming in here. And Atlanta's gone over in 5 of their last 7. Washington's gone over in 6 of their last 9. 11 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Atlanta's 7-4 against the spread on the road. Washington's 0-6 against the spread at home so far, but the number keeps going up. It is a pro basketball game. Let's see what you guys have in this one. I'm probably going to take I don't know how I can do it, but I'm probably going to take these points with a team that hasn't covered the spread at home all year long. They're 4-10 against the spread as an underdog, 4-12 against the spread overall. Let's see if anybody is going to take with me the Washington Wizards, but I think I'm going to here. Let's see what you got. All right, and it is VAR on the Hawks. And, 9 Legacy, it says Johnny Blaze here. What happened is YouTube has made some changes here within the last couple of weeks, and they've kind of gone back to like the original handle. I think it is underneath, they said, I think Mikey looked it up. I think you could go in underneath the studio tab and change the names. But I think like the default name, if you didn't change it originally, everybody got set back. I don't know what happened. I even tried to run it through Chat GPT, and it couldn't tell me what was going on. It said go over to Gemini and check it out. No, it didn't say that. Hawks can only make wild cards. Yeah, VAR, right. Hawks can. I'm trying to cover the. I didn't mean to. Yeah, Hawks are 1-1. 1-1 VAR. Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't give Atlanta status here in there, but since they lost to Toronto already, right? They can only get second, but they're still out behind Cleveland, and then you got to be better than all those other second place teams as well. So Tariq's going to do it with me. We're going to take the Wizards here. Tariq, we're going to try to sit through this one and get it home with the Wizards here. Owen, like I said, 0-6 against the spread at home so far this season. And Dylon might be going with the Hawks here. And let's see here. Tariq says Stony Brook moved to 3.5. Anyone got anything in Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman? I did. Well, I was on a show last night making some picks on that game. I know that. Let's see. Kane's on Bethune. Terrell says Keyshawn George here. Robert likes the over in this one. Why not, huh? All right. Give me the Wizards here in this one. Boy, we've been here an hour already. I don't think we've had one good game yet. I mean, this one's better, though. How about the Magic taking on the Sixers here? The Magic, they've moved to a 2.5-point favorite, it looks like right now. And the total here is what? 227.5 in this one between the Mag and the Sixers. Taking a look at the NBA Cup with these two teams. You got the Magic. They're 2-0 in the same group as Detroit. Still bodes pretty well. I think the Magic's got a pretty good record. They're the only second-place team with a 2-0 record. So actually, they're kind of in the driver's seat, but they are in a near pick'em game here. They are favored, though, however. Real quick, let me pass along a move here. Some steam on the added board. Hampton. We already mentioned the steam came in on the over. Here comes some steam on Hampton. They were a 2.5-point favorite, but now Hampton is going up here, and currently Hampton they are upwards here now of 4. Hampton's moved to 4 from 2.5. Steam on Hampton. All right. Anyway, I'm discussing here this one. Okay, so the Magic, they lose. Yeah, they're going to be in the mix there a little bit with those other teams. They are favored to win. Central Arkansas taking the steam here right now in their matchup today. Just want to pass this one along as well. Central Arkansas here is was a 3.5-point favorite on the opener. We're seeing some steam come in here on Central Arkansas right now. Central Arkansas here is at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, and we're seeing right now that total or that line is up to 5.5. Central Arkansas from 3.5 to 5.5, taking that steam here this morning. Okay, so Philly's 0-2 in the Cup. They're pretty much toast right now. They're not playing anything but spoiler here, but they are at home. Orlando, a 2.5-point favorite now, as that total has moved higher. The total's 27.58, apparently, according to the graphics man. What is it? 227.5, I said. There we go. 227.5. Orlando had their 3-game winning streak snapped last time out when they dropped that game to Boston, 138-129 on the road. Philadelphia, meanwhile, coming in off of a loss to Miami. They've been alternating wins and losses here of late. Philadelphia 10-5-1 against the spread overall, 6-3-1 against the spread as an underdog. Remember, this Philly team has been solid. It's just that they're 0-2 in the Cup. And there are some key injury notes in this game that we should check out. Embiid is questionable. Edgecombe, he is out of this game. It was determined yesterday. Edgecombe is out. Paul George is probable, though. He's showing signs of life, huh? Kelly Oubre out in this game as well. Banchero is out. Mo Wagner's out. Wendell Carter is probable here in this one. Let's hear what you have to say when this a little bit better game here in the Cup. And like I said, Philly pretty much toast, but you're still playing regular season games here. I know that a lot of a popular thing, if you're not in the Cup, teams don't care about the Cup. Are you in? Are you out? But let's see how you have it here right now in this one. and I'll make a pick. Okay, here we go. Greg says, give me 122, 113 Atlanta. And Terrell is on. He says Washington's 4-12 ATS. How are you going to take them in that other game? What do we got here? VAR is on Philly. And Greg says he's got it here. He's got the Magic here, I think. He's got the over for sure. He's got the over there. Robert's on Orlando here as well. Hey, there's some steam coming in right now. You guys are talking about. Let me get this one out of the way. Samford and Georgia State. This one at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific. Subscribers might note this one. The steam's coming in on the under here. It was as high as 152, 151.5. This one has moved considerably lower. I hope you're on the subscriptions with me, gang. If you like a little bit of CLV, this one might be for you. We sent it out at 151.5. I'll just say it right here as kind of an advertisement. We're starting to come in with more overnight action on these big cards. Make sure you beat the line with me. This one right now has moved here to 147. Imagine you could have gotten the send out there last night from me about, I don't know, what was it? Maybe 6 hours ago. And I sent it out here at 151.5. It's down to 147. I know who the sharps are on, and I'll get you on the right side, save you lots of CLV here. We had some pretty decent picks, I thought, there last night in college basketball. All right, let's see what you got, though, here now. I'm going through your picks with Magic and the 76ers. You should be signed up with me for 40 cents a day to get 3, 4, 5 moves like this where I'm beating the move. Did it yesterday, too. Had a couple of plays there. I think it was more than a couple, but beating that move on my overnight plays here. Hey, look, we want to get them right too. It does you nothing to beat the line, but my statisticians will tell me that's a pretty good thing. All right, here we go. I think we got more. Let's see. How about Jet Howard? Had a great game, huh, Terrell? Tariq likes the Sixers here. Team total over. Jerry he likes Bowling Green in that football game. And I think Greg says overtime Philly Magic in the air. All right. I'm going to make my pick here in this one between Orlando and Philly. You guys can get one last. Double steam. All right, let's do it. I'll try to come right back on this, but let's talk a little more steam to this morning. It feels good. Kennesaw and Oral Roberts, where I said that steam came in on Oral Roberts. Now here comes the steam on the under. This was already a pretty high total at 173.5. It was 173.5, you guys, but right now this one's gone way under here at down to 169.5. That's a 4-point move to the under from the opener. Probably was down to 170.5, 171 here when it started moving here again, but no doubt. Also, Mount St. Mary's and Ohio State. Seeing some steam here to the over here on this one with Mount St. Mary's and Ohio State. It was 148, and this one got steamed to the over here with Mount St. Mary's and Ohio State. And right now it's as high as 151, maybe even juiced to the over. That's a 3-point move on that one. I'm surprised on that. All right. And Jerry said Illinois was a bad team, and they beat them by 30. Okay. All right. Let me get my play in here now, finally, in the game between Orlando and Philadelphia. Where's I have my notes out here. Just like I said, too many games. All right. I think Orlando, maybe these Philly injuries might be a little bit of a factor here today. I know Orlando feels popular here, but I got to take them in this matchup against Philly tonight. I am taking Orlando here as my play on the Morning Steam Show. I'm not saying that Philly's going to be lacking the motivation. Like I said, I know it's real easy to say, hey, they're 0-2, they're done. remember, there's still regular season games. Philly does want to, keep it going here. They've had an okay start to the season. Okay, here we go with Rice and Florida Gulf Coast. We're seeing some steam here in this one. Right now, well, let me interject with another one. We just mentioned the Pacific and Jacksonville game with that steam on Pacific, but now how about some steam on the under here with Pacific and Jacksonville? It was 139, but we're going lower here now, and we're seeing it go down here too. This one at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, and the total here is down to 137 with Pacific and Jacksonville steam to the under here in this one. And moments ago before that, Rice and Florida Gulf Coast. We're seeing some steam to the under in this one between Rice and FGCU. It was 151, but right now this one at 7 Eastern for Pacific, and the steam came in on the under here, and currently it is at 147.5. Wow. One book opened this 152 actually, so we've had at least a 4.5 point move here in this one with Rice and Gulf Coast, some big steam to the under. And here comes Northern Illinois. They're taking some steam right this second for Northern Illinois. They were a 7.5 point dog against Austin P, but the steam's coming in on Northern Illinois. This is at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific time. Northern Illinois is now getting just 6 from Austin P, a 1.5 point move to Northern Illinois. All right, Andrew G is here. He says, Magic NBA, that's his best bet. And Greg says, did Oregon win? Did Oregon win? I'll tell you if Oregon won. They did, let me tell you. You guys probably beat me to it. I remember, but I forget. It was Auburn 84, Oregon 73. Auburn won it. All right, one more here in the NBA. It's between the Clippers and the Lakers. This one's at the Lakers. Clippers at Lakers here. In this one tonight in the NBA Cup. This is a Tuesday night. Late game, 11:10 Eastern, 8:10 Pacific. You know what? That's what it is. I think the NBA Cup, this is a Peacock night, right? So I think maybe they get their own little piece of the pie there with the NBA Cup. Okay, both teams 2-0 in the NBA Cup. There's only one other team in the West group here that is also there's 4 2-0 teams. In the Group A, Thunder and Phoenix are both 2-0, and in Group B here, Lakers and Clippers are 2-0. So the loser of this game, might be falling into the tiebreaker, and I believe Phoenix has a pretty good record. They're plus 23 in the point differential. So important game here in Group B. Winner will be 3-0. You have the Lakers here favored by 5.5, and the total in this one is currently at 229.5. In fact, the Lakers are favored by 6.5 now. 6.5 here and 229.5. That one's moved higher for sure between the Clippers and the Lakers. Okay. Let's see how you have this one. Lakers come in 12-4. They're on a 4-game winning streak here right now with wins over New Orleans, Milwaukee, and then they beat Utah twice. The Clippers, meanwhile, they have lost, they just lost their last game, 120-105 to Cleveland a couple of nights ago. Currently, the Lakers here have won 5 of their last 6. They've covered 9 of their last 12. The Clippers are just 2-10 straight up in their last 12 games. They've gone 4-11 against the spread in their last 15 overall. Clippers have gone over in 5 of their last 7. Lakers have gone under in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under, but can you get involved here with the Clips possibly? Let me get your plays in the chat, and I'll go over a couple more Steam moves, of course. St. Bonaventure here is taking the Steam in their matchup today. St. Bonaventure against North Carolina here in Fort Myers. Bonaventure was getting 12.5 here from North Carolina. The Steam came in. It actually was around 11, went up to 12.5, and then got beat back down here. And right now we're seeing this one at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. Bonaventure is now down to a 10-point dog. So technically a 2.5-point move, but maybe just a point or so off the actual line there. And Bonaventure took the Steam against North Carolina today. All right, let's hear from you guys in the chat right now. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, Missouri. Missouri took some steam in their matchup here with South Carolina State. Missouri was let's see what they were. They were a 33-point favorite or so. This one at 5 Eastern and 8 Pacific. 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific time with South Carolina State and Missouri. The Steam came in here on this one, and right now Missouri is up to a 35.5-point favorite. So that's about a 2.5-point move. Big number here. These big numbers haven't been all getting home, that's for sure. Steam came in on Missouri. They're up to 35.5. Just moments ago, it was New Mexico State taking the Steam in their matchup today against Cal Irvine. We already mentioned the Steam that came in on the under there in that one. But that's another one where we kind of beat the move there. Make sure you're on with me, guys. Just 40 cents a day, and you can beat some of these moves. For example, Cal Irvine here is now just a 2-point favorite with that Steam coming in on New Mexico State. That totals all the way down here to 139, 138.5. So we've already sent it out as a 2.5-point mover there overnight in that one. All right, go ahead with the Clippers and the Lakers. Let's hear from you in the chat. And it's going to be VAR likes the over in this one. And let's see here. Greg has a pretty much, he kind of likes it on the total there. Or I guess he likes the under there with that. Terrell says Lakers plus points in a close game. Clippers plus points in a close game. Lakers have a good spread record, but that record could get worse now with LBJ back. He says they will not be as potent.
Steam play.
Greg says the Clippers are trash. Comes in here and talks about my favorite team like that. All right, Tariq says over in this one. Tariq says Lakers team total over. Blue might be on the Lakers here. Here's Andrew. He says Dallas, Charlotte, New Orleans, Phoenix, Blazers. Oh, are all 5? Okay, I thought those were his plays. And Greg says he's got the Lakers here today. Well, wait a minute. He already said the Lakers 115. Oh, he said, wait a minute. We got Lakers 117, 110. Now it's 119 to 110. Okay, he likes the Lakers here in the over, I think. All right. Let's see here. Fernando, first half over. Got some more steam here coming in. And Daniel's got some chorizo in the chat. That works. Okay, Georgia Southern just got steamed here just moments ago. Georgia Southern in their game against Texas San Antonio. Georgia Southern was a 1.5-point favorite. This one being played in Jacksonville. But we're seeing Georgia Southern just took that steam. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Georgia Southern's up to 3.5. About a 2-point move there, taking that steam against Texas San Antonio. Hey, we're having a good time. And Robert says he's on the Clippers, and Daniel says, I'm blue, da-do-dee-da-do-die. Change your handle, Blue. I know I don't even know how to do it, you guys. That's just what they told me.
Steam play.
Here's Towson taking some steam here right now in their matchup. Anybody saw me on a show last night? I was talking about this game, but Towson just took some steam here against Liberty. Towson was getting 7.5 in this one, and now we're seeing it. We're seeing it here. Some steam coming in right now on Towson, and right now this one is down to. This one's the early game, so I got to back up here. This one's remember there's a game coming in 30 minutes with Bethune-Cookman. This one's at 6.5 right now, 136.5. Oh, Blue says it's our setting. Okay, I don't know how to change it, so I guess we're just going to go with these names. But if I could, I would fix it so that everybody had their name back. I thought it was on each individual user because YouTube did something about 2 weeks ago and set all the names back to like some old names. I didn't know it was specific because I do shows on like 3 or 4 different channels. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm on like about 3 or 4 different channels, and it's the same on all the sites. And I don't know if all the sites decided at the same time to go in and make this weird change. I think it was done by YouTube. I'm not with YouTube, by the way. Greg says fade the public. All right, let's see here. Oh man, is that it for the? I gotta make my pick. I gotta make my pick in the Laker game. The Lakers and the Clippers here. All right, well I guess I'll do so. Let me get my notes straight here. Boy, this one's been back and forth here from the sharps here for sure in this one today, huh? All right. And for me in this one, look, the Clippers have definitely had some issues here covering numbers here right now, no doubt about it. But, man, the line just keeps going higher here, and I don't think the Clippers are going to be able to or the Lakers are going to be able to blow them out. I'm going to take the Clippers here in this one. Give me the Clips tonight, plus the points. That's it, NBA. Okay, here we go. Blue was on the under here. Greg likes the over, I think. Okay, I'm going to the one game in the NHL. One game tonight in the National Hockey League. So, there's a bunch of games tomorrow in the NHL. If there's one game tonight, there's 16 games tomorrow or something like that, and they all start at the same time, pretty much. Or at least the early games do. Okay, here we go, though. The Oilers and the Stars. The Oilers are minus $1.40. The total is 6/15. Oops. There we go. With, I think, Ottinger and Skinner here. Let's take a look and see if we got that. Ottinger comes in 8-4-2 with a 2.84 goals against and a 90% save percentage. For Skinner here, he's 8-6-3 with a 3.0 goals against average so far this season. This is our only game on the ice tonight, and it goes at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific time here on a Tuesday night. For Dallas here, they've won 6 of their last 8 games coming in. They're just 1-4 in the series against the Edmonton Oilers coming in. Stars have won 4 of their last 5 games on the road. Edmonton just 2-4 straight up in their last 6 games overall. 6 of last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over, and Edmonton's gone over in 7 of their last 10 and 5 of their last 6 games at home. Dallas has gone under
Steam play
in 5 of their last 7. Here's some, we'll get your picks on that one. Here's some steam, Lehigh and Marist. We're seeing some steam to the over here in this one. It was 130, but now we're up to 130, 1, 2. Let's see here. Steam is going higher in this one. with Lehigh and Marist at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 Pacific time. This one is right now at 133. 133, 3-point move here. Some books maybe juice to the under, but it's a move to the over with Lehigh and Marist. All right. The Stars are 5-0 as puck line underdogs this season. Edmonton just 3-4 as puck line favorites. Edmonton 6-2 to the over here at home. Dallas, meanwhile, 3-2 to the over as an underdog this season. Dallas 7-1 on the road. Man, they've been impressive, but Oilers have been much better at home. They're 5-1 at home so far this season. So good game, tough game. What do you think in this one? I'm going to go to the chat. Dallas won the last one 4-3 back 3 weeks ago to the day. Also in that Lehigh Marist game, we're seeing wait a minute here. Seeing some steam here right now on George Mason. Mason is taking the steam here in their matchup with Florida Atlantic. The steam already came in on the under in that game. George Mason was a 4.5-point favorite at 7:30 Eastern and 4:30 Pacific. Right now we're seeing George Mason move here to -6. Steam is on Mason. It also came in on the under in that game. George Mason and FAU. Right now it is 145. That one opened as high as 151.5 at circa. Basically a 6.5-point move from the opener, probably a 3-point move when the steam came in. Also, just moments ago, Coppin State and Ryder steam to the under here with Coppin State and Ryder. It was 141. This game at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, and right now this one's gone down to 139. Lots of under steam on that added board. Coppin State and Ryder down to 139. All right, so look, Edmonton had controlled the series here pretty much until that last game. Like I said, Dallas has lost 4 of the last 5 here to Edmonton. Edmonton much tougher on the at home than they are on the road right now. So just kind of wonder, is $1.40 too much for Edmonton given their inconsistency here? Dallas is the far better team record-wise right now, but go ahead and let's see. I'm going to roll it in the chat and see what you guys have here in this one. Then we're going to go to the Players Era Championships. And there's Dylon ready to go. He's not burning his Oilers flag after all. And Blue says he likes the Stars. Robert likes the over. Blue also on the over here. Stars money line for Dylon. And, wow, Dylon's going with the Stars here. That says everything because he's our Edmonton correspondent. Blue says Skinner's got a 3.0 goals against. Greg says he's got a 4-3 Oilers here. Blue says over, and you better hurry. Robert's on the Stars here in this one. And Tariq says go over. Need a high-scoring game tonight. And Greg with a pick on that Marist game. Thanks, Greg. All right.
Steam play.
A little bit more. One more steam move here. Coppin State and Ryder just said the steam. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Coppin State and Ryder. We just did that one. This is in. Oh, boy. Okay, this is my pick, actually. All my picks, we're not even going to have a segment here. Oregon and San Diego State, the steam has just come in on the under. That was going to be my play here when we get to it. Oregon and San Diego State, we just saw San Diego State offense look very dismal. Obviously, the Sharps have seen it here because this one has been seeing some steam here right now to the under at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Oregon and San Diego State steam to the under here right now at 140.5. That is about a 3-point move there from 143.5. So some steam to the under there for sure. Oregon and San Diego State. Probably be another crummy day for San Diego State. They've had slow starts before, and they still come back and look pretty decent, but they've had two pretty bad games so far. And they've got some talent, man. They've got Magungwath and Miles Bird. They're usually a very good team. Okay, Dallas says, hey, don't forget, Ramon, don't forget where all those Edmonton wins came from last May, as they were, Edmonton walked right through Dallas, right? And Dylan likes the over. Okay. Well, I thought they got their revenge already in the 4-3 win at Dallas. I'm going to take the Edmonton Oilers here in this one. Give me the oil tonight against the Stars. Okay, and Dylan likes the over there. Okay, great. Yeah, me too, I think. Okay, let's go to the Players Era Championships. Here in Las Vegas, you can go between the two arenas and go back and forth and watch a great college basketball game final. Now, this is day 2 of the Players Era Championship, the Players Era Festival. And the way it works is you get 2 games to prove yourself, to rack up as many points, rack up a couple of wins, rack up point differential. You only get 2 games, and then you got to beat up the other team is pretty much what it comes out to. So let's go to it here right now. I was going to try to bring up the standings here. We actually have the standings. Just look at yesterday's games. That's how you do it. Okay, here we go. Rutgers and Notre Dame will be first up at the Players Era Festival. And we already gave out our play, I guess, on this one, didn't we? When the steam came in there on Notre Dame a little short time ago, we said we're on Notre Dame. So, all right, that's fine. But, hey, we can still chime in a little bit here and see what you guys have. Both teams come in here 4-2. Both teams lost yesterday in the Players Era Festival. Rutgers lost to Tennessee 85-60. Notre Dame, meanwhile, lost to Kansas 71-61. The steam came in on the over in this game. Right now, the line here currently for this first game is Notre Dame 7, and the total here is 139. Did it ever come in? Wow, that's interesting because the steam came in on the over, but the total here is 139. Okay. I'll just leave it at that right now. But no doubt this one has moved lower. The steam came in on the over. Now, look, the steam has been okay, and you're getting a real good bargain here if you like it. Now, maybe it was a setup but I'll just take Notre Dame here -7 against Rutgers in this one. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat. Rutgers is 1-5 against the spread so far, gang. Notre Dame did lose to Kansas, but they beat Bellarmine. They also beat Eastern Illinois. They beat Detroit. They covered 21.5 against Detroit. They lost to Ohio State. Rutgers, meanwhile, had a loss to Central Connecticut here a couple of games back. They had beaten Maine. They beat Lehigh. They beat American. Wasn't a great schedule. Greg he says Notre Dame's shooting the lights out. He likes Notre Dame to win this one. He does like the over, though, for sure. And he says Rutgers is garbage this year. Well, you know what? They had a couple of star players, a little bit different this season, and they're paying the price here. They're not covering anything right now. Like I said, they had even those wins they didn't cover. They were favored by 12 against Maine. They didn't cover 17.5. They were favored by 12 against Lehigh. They didn't cover 18. They were favored by 16.5 against American. They only won by 9. So they're not covering, and I'm going to take Notre Dame in this one. Tariq's on Notre Dame, too. Air Force just got steamed, by the way, in college football in their game here this week. We just saw Air Force take some steam here. They were a 1.5-point favorite. We just saw Air Force get steamed moments ago and they got steamed up in their game here this weekend. Air Force taking the steam in college football. Okay, just pass that along. Next up at the Players Era Championship, it is Iowa State and Creighton. All right, we saw steam come in on this one on Creighton, and also it came in on the under in this one with Iowa State and Creighton. Right now, Creighton is favored here. This one's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 Pacific. Iowa State comes in here 5-0 right now, playing strong. Creighton does have a couple of losses. In fact, they lost the first Players Era game yesterday to Baylor by 7 as a 3.5-point dog. But Iowa State, a pretty big favorite here. Look, they're playing great, obviously. However, they did not cover in their last 2 games. They didn't cover yesterday against St. John's. They only beat them by 1, 83-82. So Iowa State's been hot. Creighton's still a very strong program. They lost also to Gonzaga as their only other loss. They covered against Maryland Eastern Shore by 33.5. They've been favored in some games that have not covered. Other than that, they didn't cover against North Dakota, laying 28.5. They didn't cover against South Dakota, laying 29.5. So I got to take Creighton here in this one. I think Creighton can stay in with this Iowa State team, get nearly double digits. Here it says 6.5 on screen, and it's currently 5.5. Though, man, that's a big move. This one opened as high as 9.5. Let's see what's going on the injury front. The total is at 151. The steam had come in on the under in this game. Let's see what is the problem here actually in this huge move. It could be that Iowa State may be a little bit overrated on the send out spread, but from 9 to 5.5 would have me concerned here a little bit. That total moving under for sure there, down to 151. All right, I'm not seeing enough of injury information here with see what you guys say in the chat. Maybe you guys can help me out. Here we go with, let's see, Gooey says he likes Stony Brook, and he parlayed them with Iowa State Moneyline. We've hit the 10-minute warning for Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman. I'll make a pick here in just a moment. Blues on Notre Dame here. Greg says, I think Greg likes the over here. Robert likes the under. Tariq says Iowa State wins, but Creighton can cover. And Greg told us it'd be 82-80 yesterday with the Iowa State game, and it was 83-82. Can't get much closer than that. Mr. Weskers here says, take Creighton. And Blue says, don't even listen to me in college basketball. And Mr. Weskers said, hey, well, Syracuse is playing today. Let's go to that game. I'm already picking here Creighton, plus 5.5. Okay, here it is. With Kansas taking on Syracuse. Wow, this is what the Players Era Championship's all about. With these great matchups, huh? You got Kansas here favored in this one. This one is at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Kansas is a 5.5-point favorite, and the total here has gone lower. The total's dropped here to 146. So call Kansas 5.5-point favorite. Move the total down here to 146 in this one at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Kansas comes in here 4-2. Syracuse suffered their first loss of the year last night, but they did get the money in that close shave against Houston, losing by 4. They were getting 14.5. They had won before that against Monmouth, Drexel, Delaware State, Binghamton. Kansas, meanwhile, beat Notre Dame 71-61. They were off that loss against Duke. The only losses Kansas has had was to North Carolina and Duke. Talk about blue bloods here in this one. Man, that Kansas spread is moving higher. Mr. Weskers has to take his orange here in this one. I don't know. I don't know if I like the matchup though. Here for Syracuse. I think I'm going to be rolling here with Kansas, but let's hear what you have to say, and Mr. Weskers can tell us, because look, Syracuse is 4-1 against the spread so far this season. They covered as an underdog there already once this season. Kansas, meanwhile, 2-1 or 3-1 against the spread as a favorite here. It is going kind of higher. It is kind of worrying me, but I'm on Kansas in this one. I already said I was back when the steam came in on them, and I couldn't get off of it now. So I'm on Kansas here. Let's see what you got here with Mr. Westwood says, I got Syracuse money line. I've been back in Syracuse for 2 years to an unbelievable profit, says Mr. Westers. That's why you like Syracuse. You got to go with the teams that score for you. Greg here, let's see, he likes this one right on the number here pretty much. That makes it tough. Robert likes the under here. And Justin's here this morning. He likes Kansas as well. Mr. Wester says, we're not in Kansas. We're in Las Vegas. All right, we're going through the Players Era Championship. All right. And Terrell, it says they kind of play to their strength of their opponent, huh? Tariq says, give me Kansas. All right. Let me interrupt here real quick and just remind everyone we're at the 5-minute warning here for a game that's about to go off here with Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman. This is at the Sunshine Slam here in Daytona Beach. And right now, Bethune-Cookman is up to a 4-point favorite in this one against Stony Brook. Okay. Bethune-Cookman's looked all right here for sure. The total is 145 in this one between Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman. The steam came in on Bethune-Cookman. It drove it up here from 1.5 up to 4 here right now for Bethune-Cookman. Meanwhile, for Stony Brook, oops, I'm looking everywhere here. I'm looking for the next steam move that just came in. But so Bethune-Cookman, there's some more steam. Okay, Stony Brook comes in 3-1 ATS. Bethune-Cookman 3-2 ATS. But Bethune-Cookman's 0-1 against the spread as a favorite. I'm going to go over. I'm just going to go over in this one at 145. I'm going over here in this one between Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman 3-2 to the over. Stony Brook 2-2, 2 up, 2 down. Stony Brook's been the better cover. I'm going over.
Final.
Some steam just came in. Hey guys, it's on the Philadelphia 76ers. The 2.5s are gone now. It's down to 1.5 here. Steam came in on the Sixers in that game against Orlando. Wow, that just in. Also, one more here on the board. Texas, San Antonio, and Georgia Southern. We're seeing some steam here to the under in this one between Texas, San Antonio, and Georgia Southern. It was 162.5, and the steam came rolling in this one at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific time. Right now, it is currently 160.5. 2-point move. It originally was 160.5, went up to 162.5, and then back down here on some steam to 160.5. Georgia Southern also got steamed, as we mentioned, from 1.5 to 3.5 a little earlier. Okay, let's see here. And Tariq likes the under in Kansas. Dylon likes the over in this game with Stony Brook and Bethune-Cookman that we just talked about. That starts in 1 minute. And I think that's on the Flow Hoops. I don't get Flow. I get every sports channel in the world except Flow Hoops. What are you doing, YouTube TV? I think Flow Hoops though is on Fubo. Fubo is kind of supposed to be like the sports one like Fubo does live sports. They say we do sports. We kind of feature sports as our content, not like some of the others we got. All the channels. Fubo does too, but Drexel and Morgan State steamed to the under here. Drexel and Morgan State just moments ago. It was 148. This one's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Drexel and Morgan State. We're seeing some steam here to the under in this one. Current line right now on this steam move here between Drexel and Morgan State. It's down to 144. 144. That's a 4-point move. Drexel and Morgan State. You might be able to beat that move. All right. And let's see here. Stony over with Justin and I. Tariq's doing it too. Mr. Westwood took Drexel, and Josh says, "Are you at home?" Well, you might call it home, Josh. I call it the Satellite Studios here in Las Vegas. Yeah, a little home office, let's just say. Got a bunch of TVs right here. I'm kind of crowded into a little area, actually, and I sit here and watch all the games. You'd think I'd have a nice chair to sit in luxury, but I've got a very uncomfortable chair that I watch the games in. We sit here and do these live streams too. Okay, we're moving on. At the Players Era Championship, St. John's and Baylor here with St. John's. Oh, are they up to a 6-point favorite in this one? This one's at 4:30 Eastern and 1:30 Pacific time at the Players Era Championship. Right now, I'm showing St. John's up to 6.5, 162.5. Wow, that's a pretty big move there, right? With St. John's and Baylor here. Let's see what you guys have in this one. For St. John's here, they come in 3-2 here right now. Baylor's undefeated. Why you doubting Baylor here? Baylor just beat Creighton 81-74 as a 3.5-point favorite and got the money. They did lose to Duke by 23 points as a 13-point dog. They covered against Washington 78-69 as a 6.5-point favorite. Meanwhile, for St. John's, they lost to ISU, but they did cover there. They also lost to Alabama by 7. I gotta think this number has gone a little too far here, but let me see what you guys have in this one between St. John's and Baylor. I do think St. John's is the better team. The records don't show it right now. I mean, the records would indicate. You got a 3-2 St. John's team. They are 4-1 against the spread, though, because of that game here. They did cover against ISU yesterday, despite the loss. Baylor 4-0 straight up, but just 2-2 against the spread so far. But they're an underdog here. All right, let's see how you have it here with this one. And I'll make my call, but let me hear from you in the chat. Okay, here we go. Chat All-Stars. Okay, we got Josh likes that score. Yeah, it's just an app, actually. It's just an app, but I wanted to have, people got the fake lines behind them. I don't want that. I want real live lines behind me. And that's what we get with this feature here. I mean, look, there's Indiana and Purdue, right? My chicken head. Where are we at? Indiana and Purdue here. You see it? 29.5 and 54 there this weekend, right? There's the A&M Texas game. Arizona and ASU. Here's some soccer here this coming up this weekend. You got some Spain. You got some Germany. Oh, did I do it? We got crazy. We're getting crazy in here. St. John's here for Mr. Weskers. St. John's not like that. And you know what? I saw some cool ones actually, like on Facebook, but it was more expensive. This is $5 a month, this thing. But I like to have the live lines behind me. Justin's on the over here. And Dylan says we need a new chair. You know, what? I got to get one of those. You know, I see the gamer chair, you know,
Final.
with the thing on it and everything. Maybe I'm watching those female gamers. Does anybody watch female? I have some of my favorite female gamers. All right. Don't judge me. Okay. Tariq Baylor to cover. I'm not watching any male gamers. I promise you that. Selling Purdue chicken. I don't know what that means, but all right. St. John. I got to try Baylor here. I just can't resist. I know the Sharps are on St. John's on this one. I'm pretty sure about that, but I'm going to take Baylor. I gotta have the Bears here in this one. Give me Baylor. All right, we're only halfway through, but we're having a great time here. And let me see here. Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to take Scott Drew here, I think. Okay, Robert's on the under. Let's move on. Man, we're not even halfway through with Houston and Tennessee. And in this one, you've got Houston now favored in this one by 3.5. Is that right? This one at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. Current line is 3.5 and 133. 133. What? Well, I know it's a Houston game, but this one did. I have it 136 on screen there. Did I type it in wrong? No, it did. It was as high as that in some spots, but we are talking about Houston here, so I get it. I'll put it 133 though. This one's definitely moved lower here between these two. The total here. You do have the Houston Cougars coming in here 6-0. The Tennessee Volunteers come in here 6-0. Both teams have struggled though against the spread. Both teams are 2-4 ATS, laying the big numbers basically and not covering. Tennessee failed against North Florida. They failed against Rice. They failed against Tennessee. They probably pushed last night in that game against Rutgers. Houston, meanwhile, they won against Syracuse, did not cover last night. They covered against Rider. They did not cover against Auburn as a 7.5-point favorite. They didn't cover against Towson. Two teams that are winning but not covering here with these two. And what do you think? Houston is, obviously one of the elite teams in the country, talking about the Houston Cougars here right now. I mean, I don't know where you have them, but they're probably got to put them in the top 4 teams right now. You got to figure Duke is in there. You got to figure Purdue's still in there, right? They're undefeated. Gonzaga, I guess they're in there. Got to have them in there for now. And after that, either you got to have Houston in there, but from there, who are you going to have? Arizona's look good. Michigan's right there. Louisville's undefeated. And then you got some other teams with one loss already, like Florida and UConn and BYU, but you still have other undefeated teams like Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Louisville. And, Tennessee really is they're, like we said, 6-0, and they're, not sniffing the top 4 yet, but you gotta like what they're up to. These two teams, Houston here, 2-1 to the over as a favorite. What do you have here? Let me know. Houston and Tennessee. I'll make my pick. I want to hear from you in the chat. Chat All-Stars. I'm going with Houston. I know that. I'll just get it marked down here right now, and I'll have to lay an extra 0.5 point, but I'm going to take Houston here. Sometimes they get in these tougher games, though. Houston is bamboozled. Justin's got Tennessee. Let's see here. You got Greg. I think he likes the what does he like? Tennessee could win. Robert's on the balls. Tariq's on the balls. You guys are on the balls here. Dylon's got Houston to win the whole thing. He's got Houston to win the championship at 10-1, I think. VAR likes Houston. Dylon likes Houston first half. Maybe Houston was in a look ahead yesterday and they'll get it done today against Tennessee. They might have maybe looked past Syracuse a little bit in that overtime. Give me the Cougars. Growl. Michigan and Auburn here. I think we already gave this one away, right? We said we're on Michigan here. The line's kind of gotten away from us. It says 4.5 right there. It's up to 5.5. Well, nothing I can do here. I was already on them, and that's okay. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific here for this one, and right now it is Michigan by 5.5. The total's up to 164. If you caught me on that show last night, I was going over there 150, I think it was 159.5 when we were on that show last night. So better be checking me out. But right now it's up to 164 at Circa. Wow.
Critical notice.
That one has gone higher for sure. All right, I got a couple more. You guys can make a pick here in this one. Let's see what you got. Michigan and Auburn. All right. Nobody looks past Syracuse. You got to play your best against Syracuse, and they did get it done. Houston is tired overtime because of the overtime. Yeah. VAR's on Michigan here. Tariq's on Auburn, though. And Mr. Westcott says Michigan will continue to rock here right now. How about the big man? He's bigger. What is the big man status? I saw him leave the game there last night. I saw him walking into the locker room anyway. I didn't know if it was a big deal, but let's see if I can peek at the injury. No, he's nobody on the injured list currently, but okay, here's Greg. Here's Greg's prediction. He likes Auburn here, it looks like, and the over. He's got the over for sure. That's an over. All right. And here's another one coming up. This one's Gonzaga and Maryland here. Gonzaga is up to, they're 13.5 against Maryland here. Total 157.5. Man, it's even up to 14.5 here. Man, what is Gonzaga the best team in the country or what? I don't think they are. But Gonzaga does come in here into this one right now, as we said, undefeated here currently, looking like another great Gonzaga season until you get to the postseason, huh? Gonzaga coming in here. This one's at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. And this one, Gonzaga's 6-0. Maryland is 5-1. They've won 4 straight. Maryland with a win over UNLV last night, 74-67. Another disappointing game for the Rebels. Maryland also beat Mount St. Mary's by only 5. They did cover as an underdog against Marquette, but they failed against Alcorn. They failed against Georgetown. For Gonzaga here, not only are they winning, they're pretty much covering. They covered against Alabama last night, 95-85. They covered against Southern Utah when they beat them by 72 points, covering 35.5. They did fail against ASU as a 12-point favorite, laying 13.5, but they covered against Creighton. They covered against Oklahoma, laying 11. Why wouldn't they rock Maryland here? Gonzaga, a lot of teams, right, build a softer schedules at the beginning. Gonzaga never does that, so they can have a tough, good strength of schedule, but they also win those games, right? They often start by smashing. It feels like they're off to a smashing start. Let's see what you have in this one with Gonzaga here taking on Maryland. I'll go to the chat for this. Okay, VAR did go with the under there in, I don't know which game that is, though. All right. Mr. Wesker says Maryland. Well, you know what? Maryland's had some teams, though, even dating back to, several years ago. Zags cover on the Eastern time in the Western time zone. That's what it is. Greg says Gonzaga will rock. Tariq likes the Gonzaga team over. Gonzaga travels to Las Vegas like nobody's business. We know a lot of teams like to travel to Las Vegas, but their fans come. It's like the Kennel. It's like the Kennel. They will have more fans in Maryland, that's for sure. Robert likes the over here. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and try Gonzaga here again. I'm going to lay it. I'm going to lay 14.5 with Gonzaga in a blowout. All right, let's see. Next up, San Diego State. I've already on the under here, as I mentioned, because the line moved. It's down to 140.5. That's okay. I'll still take the under. Hopefully San Diego State doesn't lay an egg. Hopefully they do it with defense here. Oregon is down to a 2-point favorite, so at least a little bit of move on San Diego State, but I don't see how. I mean, I know I'm a little bit negative Nancy here when things start to go bad, but was not happy, and the Aztec fans were not happy last night. Oregon's 4-1 coming in. SDSU's just 2-2 here so far, and they're 1-3 against the spread. Oregon hasn't covered a spread yet. They're 0-5 here, despite their 4-1 record overall, but they are just overrated spread-wise. They were a 4-point dog against Auburn, lost to 9. They were favored by 13.5 against Oregon State, won by 12. They were favored by 16.5 against South Dakota State, and they failed to cover that one. They were actually covered.
Critical notice.
The games that they have failed in were all double-digit favorites. So give me the under, though, in this one with Oregon and San Diego State. Let's see here. Mr. Westwood doesn't like Oregon in anything. Robert likes the under here with me, and he's got a 140. He got 143.5. I got to update the graphic though, actually, Robert. And maybe you got that good number, or you just didn't realize, or I didn't realize, because the total's actually 140.5 now. So I'm still under. And let's see here. Greg says they won't cover. He's talking about Gonzaga. They won't cover that big spread. Let's go to the last game. Speaking of other disappointing teams, they should have kicked San Diego State and UNLV out of here and brought Texas in here probably. Texas is out there at the Maui Invitational. Saw Chaminade last night. Almost pull off an upset. Anybody knows anything about the Maui Classic and the history of Chaminade basketball at the Maui Classic? Look, it wouldn't have been beating Virginia if you know, but they almost pulled off an upset there last night in that game against Washington State. Was Washington State, right? Yeah. Okay, UNLV and Alabama here. Last game of the Players Era, and where the show is over pretty much. So thank you, everybody, for joining me here. It took a while to get through it. 2 hours for not a lot of sports, but that's okay. Enjoy being here with you guys in this one. Look at this total. Is it really 182? It's probably going over. It's probably going over, I think. I don't know. Probably too high for me to get involved. I'm going to take the under out of principle. I know the steam came in on the over, but I'm not impressed by Vegas. I don't think they get up and down with Alabama here. And all these big totals, a lot of them are falling short here right now. Unless you're a total specialist. I mean, look, even Alabama, you look at so far, Alabama's 3-2. Give them credit, UNLV 3-3. Alabama's losses were to Gonzaga and Purdue, so you're not going to pay, but UNLV one uncovered against St. Joe's, one uncovered against Chattanooga here. But you look at the totals, yeah, UNLV, they're 5-1 to the over here right now, but Alabama is 2-3 to the under, 0-1 to the under is a favorite. I'm gonna take under 181, 182, whatever it is. Give me the under here in this one. Alabama 13.5. They probably could rock Vegas, but let's see if you have a pick. Rock Vegas. That's where the Flintstones would go to gamble. Okay, Var's on the over though, and let's see here. Gonzaga to blow them out. And Mr. West was right. Look, I mean, I might do it some of the other channels here, but we're hardcore, I guess, is all I can say about it. I promise you, most of you folks in the chat uh, bet more than me. I promise you that. Well, bet more than me on one game, but I bet almost every game. Every game on the board in one, usually the side or the total, sometimes both. So I think by the end of the I'll have as much as you bet on the day in general. You guys, I'm not categorizing. You guys might do it exactly like me. Maybe you don't, but you guys will bet bigger than me probably on maybe a handful of games, maybe even a dozen games. I today will bet 40 or 50 games, smaller, and I try to have a solid percentage by just looking at the landscape of it. And I'll bet as much as you on the day. I just won't bet as much as you on one game. That's fair. Hopefully you won't judge me for that. or hopefully you will judge me on that. Okay, here, let's see. Tariq says, what do you think about that UCLA -8 there? Well, yeah, Cal, I don't know, Tariq. I might have something there a little later on that one. I will say this: I did go on the under in that game. I was on another show last night talking about that game a little bit, and I did go under, and then it got steamed here today. But it is interesting that I got the worst of the number, to be honest. It's all the way back up to 145. Wow, I like it even better now with that under. Boy, I didn't see that until you mentioned it. Okay. Anyway, I think that's it. Greg's betting every day, and AOD says that's right. We do it because we know what we're doing, or we think we know what we're doing anyway, right? Okay, you guys, thanks a lot. That's it for the show. And let me run the contest. I'll run the commercial here. We'll be out of here. Have a great day. What's the score of the game? I'm not watching Flow Hoops. Stony Brook 15, Bethune-Cookman 10. And there's another game at the top of the hour with Towson and Liberty. And I was on a show last night. Took Liberty, so I'll let you know that. And I'll just leave it at that. Let me see. Maybe I can give one more play out here on the total in that one. Let me make sure of it here, and then I may just do it here. Yeah. Okay. So give me. I'm on Liberty from last night, and I'm taking the over in the Towson Liberty game. The total there, let me see here. This is the next game up at the Events Invitational there in Orlando, and I'm going to take the over in that one in the game with Towson and Liberty. The steam came in on Towson. It does concern me, but I'm already on Liberty, and the total there is 137, and I'm on the over with you guys there in that one. Mm-hmm. All right, and let's go hear from Mike. Hey, get more plays from me today over at winnable.com. I've already sent a 5-pack out of college basketball games, and I also sent out my 3 best Champions League games here today. So check it out over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM. Thanks to everybody. Wow, that was cool to have. I would say like everybody, but some people did take me up on that 2 weeks free offer. And look, it was only $19.99, $17.16 or whatever it was, $17 there. And by the time it gets to me, it's about $15, but that's okay too, because got a lot of you subscribing here. It's really cool. I just like having a lot of followers that are willing to support me here on the channel. Let's hear from Mikey and the LFA ring announcer. He comes on there in the middle of the video. That's the real LFA ring announcer. Those guys hang out with him when they go watch the fights. And are you ready for war?
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Whoops. Where am I? Mikey's out again today for pre-gaming, so no pre-gaming today. He's on a little assignment here. He's helping some guys out, helping some buddies out. So he's out today again. So hopefully got lots of plays in here for you. Let's do the drawing, see if someone wants to win my plays here on Winnable. Check out all the names there. You got Daniel, you got Stan, you got Arthur, you got Jimmy. Hope Arthur wins. You got Nuke here, you got Action Jackson. The winner is Jerry Jones, baby. Yes, that's what I like to see. Jerry always helping us out as well in the chat. Thank you to Jerry. Appreciate it. And we'll have more morning steam here tomorrow. Make sure you're joining me. We'll have no football tomorrow, but we'll have basketball. We'll have Players Era playoffs. We'll have NBA and NHL, the huge card tomorrow. We'll be talking NHL like it's the last day of NHL tomorrow. So anyways, I want to look at that Creighton. So Jackson McAndrew is out for the season now. That's I believe that may be what has been the big blow here for Creighton, as McAndrew will miss the rest of the season. He got a foot injury, so I think it was already known that he was going to be out for the rest of the season. It happened like 3 days ago. I think they announced that. But, he's been a starter for Creighton for sure. He started, games last year, all of them, I think, or most of them, and was on the Big East All-Freshman team. He also set a school record with 69 three-point field goals for freshmen. So it's McAndrew that is out. Now, I whether or not he's that big of a difference here, that's a pretty big deal there to move it from 10 to 5 or whatever, 9 to 5.5 here. But McAndrew, they did announce, I believe that with the thought was he was out, and I think they might have officially announced it here today or overnight, whatever the case may be, and it's caused that Creighton line to move. So I went and figured that out while we were on the break there from Mikey. And thank you to AJ. Thank you to Terrell and to Greg today, and Mr. Weskers to do, and Robert as well. So thanks everybody for your support of me here on the channel. I'm not going. This is what I'm doing, so I'll be with you. So support me, please, and keep me going. I'm not going back to being poker dealer. Just love being here with you guys and watching the games and making the picks and handicapping all day. I'm not saying it's easy life, but it's fun, and it's really an honor to be the one that you guys count on here. Like I said, a lot of people do it a lot of different ways. I do it from this kind of angle where I'm looking at the different line moves and everything. It's not all about my opinion. It's about you guys as well. So I just really appreciate it, everybody. All right. That's going to do it for the Morning's Team Show. Be back tomorrow, and I'll see you here for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long, Sports Money.
Yo, I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money, and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the